Oh, rad. Hey, why am I? All right. Think it's okay. All right. So yeah, um, just getting the show going. Gonna turn this thing off. Um, or like mute it or something. But yeah. So last night I was working on starter packs and got through basically the first part of the starter pack editor, where essentially you can like add people to starter packs. And then this next, and I kind of started roughing in the kind of like create a starter pack from scratch UI. But but yeah, so I need to wrap that up and then kind of button up everything. I also need to figure out why my audio isn't coming through the headphones, but that's a more minor thing. I'll figure that out at some point. But yeah, so gonna work on that and then kind of see where things go from there. So yeah, so hopefully you'll join along. We'll be jamming on some stuff. I also have, if you're in the chat, I have like a Spotify jam session thing going on, so you can listen to whatever I'm listening to. I'm listening to this playlist. Uh, I think it's from this dude who's in this band called Bedridden from Brooklyn. It just has a bunch of stuff that I'm have been into, and then also some new stuff that I haven't heard before. So should be a good blend of stuff going on, and we'll get at it. But just getting everything situated right now, picking up picking up the pieces of where I left off last night. But yeah, get that blown up a little bit. So I'll just switch over into browser view, or let's see what that's going to do. Okay. So yeah, so this is kind of what we're rocking with right now. This is the local dev site. But basically, if I go in here, um, I can basically add people to a pack that I already have. And then I can kind of initiate this new little component that's going to be locked down here at the bottom, where you can kind of then quickly add people to a pack that you want to make. So it's got some scrolly stuff, but we'll kind of refine this a little bit more. Um, that's kind of the gist of it right now. I mean, I think this is going to work as far as just getting the array of actors to add to the list for the starter pack. Obviously, still need to set up the whole like flow of when do you go in and add the name and the description and kind of finalize it. So, but I kind of wanted to have this kind of like quick add drawer. And then the cool thing about it, the fact that it's this global component, it means you can kind of like navigate around. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm about to look into that. That shouldn't have happened, but maybe there's something with let me step back and figure out how I did that. So I clicked on the transistor thing and it did a hard, navigate instead of using the router. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Because that'll mess up some stuff, and also that means that that component isn't optimized for some fast navigation on the site. So we'll go into code view. That's the profile pill. And it's using a link. Ah, that's the problem. So it's got to use a. So foolishly, I had that actually using like just the straight chakra link, which means it wasn't getting the next link kind of like as next link stuff, which means that's why it wasn't doing that. But I have this component here, which is the chakra link with the next link. And actually, I just like in general, I think this is a good way to go for most, like anywhere where you're using a custom, like a certain specific kind of like router or anything like that to isolate it in as many places as possible. So that way, if you want to jump over to using like, this is a Next app, but if I wanted to go use Remix or anything, I don't have to basically go through and find all these weird spots where I'm doing different routing stuff. I can kind of isolate it to this. It's also, I kind of go back and forth on it, but it's another reason why I even try to like keep the pages within like and I'm still using page router or whatever. Try to keep the pages pretty light and actually more like component heavy, and really just if I'm using get static props or get server side props, like those just spread onto maybe like a few core components on that page. So that way, even if I were to take those components elsewhere to some other, like meta framework, that they're not going to be like so deeply coupled with Next. Cause I don't really feel like there's a reason to do that. And I don't know. I also could be using Next image stuff and I'm not. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think you really have to get into that stuff, but you don't have to be so tied to these platforms. That way it keeps you loose and nimble, even though chances are if I was going to go move this somewhere else, I'd probably just end up rewriting it again, but you never know. You never know. Cool. So actually, let's bounce that back out to browser view and see if that did what we need it to do. So we're going to do a new pack. We're going to add a bunch of people to it. I'm going to navigate out here to this main page, and then I click with the transistor thing, and now that's sticky and good and there. So that's cool. And I can add people from here. I can navigate from these profile cards, which seems like they're okay. I can go to my own profile and then navigate into a pack. Oh, and that blew it away. All right. We're going to find all the busted links real quick. Actually, this is great. So that's a link box. And then we have the link overlay. And I think this has to be maybe as, let's see if this will do it. If not, we'll just cast it to a next link. Man, so many optimizations right out of the gate. Feel great. Let's see if this did it. So add a bunch of people, go back to my profile, go back to here, bing, bang, boom. Nice. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be more mindful of the chat too. So if you want chat in there, I'll try to be looking at it. I'll see if I tried pulling X up on like this iPad I had lying around, but for some reason it's just not doesn't want to load. Classic. Thought I could actually have something where I could keep track of something on the side. Actually use this thing for something. That doesn't seem like it's working. Maybe it just needs an update. Let's see here. I'll just pull it up over here just in case anyone's jamming around on X or whatever. Let's pull it up over here just in case anyone's. At least get the playlist and the link over there. Okay, so I guess cannot. All right, I can see comments, I guess, from Twitter, but I can't post comments from Twitter from Ecamm. Good to know. Cool. So, all right, we already like knocked out some good finds. That's going to actually make the whole site quicker to navigate, which would be cool. So I guess next up is now that I have this thing going on down here, and actually I'm probably still going to play around with it because I don't know. It feels like it maybe needs to be like a little bit better or something. There probably also needs to be a way to dismiss it. Like cancel creating a pack. Maybe warn them first if that's possible. But yeah. This is another thing that's going to be coming to the site soon that's not up there just yet. But anyone who is authenticated will both be able to see the packs that they appear in, and I think I need to make this update real quick, but I'm also going to make it to where then you can also see. I was thinking it was just going to be just for your profile, but I think it makes more sense just to like expose that for everyone. But it's like behind, you have to authenticate. So it's kind of like a mild push to get people to at least kind of like log in and start playing around with the app, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of interesting. What's going on there? Guess I have to look at some other stuff that's going on. I think that should be doing some crazy spiral gradient thing, but apparently it's not. It's probably because I changed it to a link. All right. Interesting. No, that's just not working. Cool. Well, that's something to look into. Not a big deal. Rat. So yeah, so we have this list down here. It's just grabbing stuff. Maybe I'll get more advanced where I'm actually like throwing like a checkbox on like a profile, or maybe even being able to. Yeah, it might be kind of cool to be able to click on these things and go to that profile after they've been added. I guess we can add that real quick. Go back to codes. So yeah, so we have this starter pack editor provider, super verbose naming going on, but we have like our two different components that we're using. So we have like the add to starter pack, which is basically just being able to add an actor to existing starter packs, and then this create starter pack drawer, which really technically isn't a drawer. And then within here, we have this starter pack actor card, which I think I have right over here. So yeah, it might be kind of cool to, I guess, just link these up. Yeah, might as well just link the whole thing. And then just make sure that it's pulling in the right link. Yeah, because it wants to pull in the chakra one when I need the base one. Cool. All right, well, we'll adjust the, probably don't need the underline on hover. I mean, it might be cool to maybe do like a little border radius glow thing, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll hold off. It's good enough for now. So I'm going to check this out, add other people. And it'd be cool to actually animate this a little bit more so people can really see what's going on, but that'll all just be once we get it working and then get it right. Save you the chug-a-lugs. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, like as they're adding people here, it'd be kind of cool to animate those in a little bit more. Also, yeah, I obviously maybe need to think about whether I should allow adding duplicates in, because like right now there's nothing preventing that. All little trade-offs and things to consider, you know? We'll go over here. Okay, so all right, we got these guys. Go back to code. Got these going on. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. I need to figure out a way to dismiss this potentially. So maybe we'll add some stuff above these things that make it a little, I don't know, a little something going on. Probably want to have a cancel button, but it doesn't need to be like, it could just be like an icon button. And on cancel, yeah, we're also being a little loose with the TypeScript stuff. Just gonna, again, kind of get it going and then figure it out. Trying to think if I actually, am I using a close icon anywhere? Where am I using React icons? Not many. I have a plus, but I'm using the FI one, so I guess I'll stick with those. FI, they have a close. Guess FIX. I need to add the icon button. Oh, we lose it. Oh, I didn't have you in code view. Well, we'll come back here. I lost it. Oh, what happened? Lost everything. All right. Well, we got our close button. It's not where we want it, but that'll work for now. Cool. So we're gonna want that over at the end somewhere. And also, I think cursor was guiding us to the right way. We probably want it to be like a ghost and really super minimal. Yeah, I guess. Sure, throw it at the end. So we need a way to cancel it, which we'll do in here as well, which I guess we'll just uncancel. Just handle create new cancel. That works. So yeah. So want a way to cancel it. We also need a way to basically advance to the next step. And that's where I like looking at this thing. Oh, and it did some stuff again, huh? Actually, I could go back, right? Guess I could look at all 359,000 people. Cool. So, no, obviously that's not the right color. That's a pretty hidden cancel button there. We'll clear that up. But I guess technically it doesn't work. Yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, we have our cancel button, and then we need a way to advance to it. I mean, do I just throw the whole? I'm trying to think like I'm kind of torn. It's like I feel like it's cool to have this drawer. I think it's cool to maybe have this X button, but then maybe some way to like lift it up or break it, bust it out into some sort of modal that shows up in the center where then you can do like name of the pack, the description, and then scroll through vertically all the people. I think I also to check into this. I think there might be a limitation where I actually have to cap the number of list items at 150, but I'm not sure if that's just a artificially imposed thing in the Bluesky app or something that's actually like a limitation at like the protocol level. So I guess I need to figure that out, but not yet. We just need to get this thing working, and then we'll figure out how to get it right. And so yeah, I guess don't need to worry about that. This color could be white. That might at least get to show up. There we go. Again, not the right not the right hover stuff, but at least it's a little bit better. Um, maybe I can do color scheme. Black alpha. I really not need to not worry about this cancel button. Sure. All right. All right, so up next, what do we do to get this thing up so we can add a name and a description to it? What to do? I mean, maybe I just break it out into another state. Could just throw it right there. Throw a little overlay behind it. I don't know. Anyone got any suggestions? I'm looking at all the three of you out there. Drop a little something. No, but we'll figure it out. I guess it's this thing with like live designing and coding. Sometimes you end up in these little things where you just don't know what to do. But I'm just gonna rough something in so we can at least test the API, and then we can figure it out. Because the one thing about having this thing in this like horizontal scroll, I feel like it's kind of cool for like a temporary thing when you're just kind of collecting these things, but it's not the best format for basically being able to review it. So I feel like we need to have like some sort of like next button somewhere that then goes into a little fuller experience. So maybe every time I use a box, I end up converting it to a flex for some reason. It's just what happens. But I think actually no, this one can stay a box. It's one of the proud. Maybe we have it something like this. And this thing's like a flex one. Let us see. This might not look so great when it's scrolling next to like a button, but we're going to do another button. Maybe another icon button. It will not be a close button, and it will not be full radius. And actually, I think the color scheme should probably be white, alpha. This should be black. And we'll do another FI. So we have an arrow right. That's the one I want to do. And this will just be next. And it will not be an on cancel, but some sort of callback handler here. Yeah, handle next. Current actor index, no. Sorry, cursor. No current actor index on that one. Thanks. But we are going to be going somewhere. The question is where. So So if I have a handle next, and essentially, I mean, we're already sitting fixed. We could just maybe change this into a different mode. Just use the same, all the same stuff. That's not looking so hot. Yeah, I'll take you over the browser view. So I got this little little dinky button over here. It's not going to work really good. Um, yeah, that's too high. So let's see, where are we at? Maybe 24, maybe 18, maybe. No, 20. I guess 20 works. And then this thing really isn't. This thing almost needs like a MX of 3 just to kind of pop it out. And actually, this is even, maybe it's 16. And it needs to align self flex end. But it needs to have maybe an MY of 3 as well. Oh, the wicked webs we weave. Yeah, this thing's not looking so hot. That's looking a little bit better. It's still not very clear. And that cutoff there is not cool. And we're just navigating around like crazy over here, which is the problem with the horizontal scroll. So we'll just get this going. Also feels weird just to have this thing floating up here. But probably could balance out if I had some sort of little header that says like create new starter pack. Yeah. We'll get there somewhere. We'll get there. But no, I'm actually just gonna go wild. So we'll have this handle next kind of go into toggle some sort of state where it's basically submit mode, maybe. No, no, I don't want that. It's just going to be a Boolean. And we're not in it, then we will be in it, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So have some sort of like submit mode, and on next, so we just really just set submit mode to true. When submit mode goes to true, I actually think that we'll just make this thing. My initial thought was just it kind of centers itself, but on mobile, it will probably just ends up going like full screen, kind of full screen modal takeover. It's going to be a wild transition if I try to animate that, but we'll see. So basically, if submit mode. uh, uh, is that right? No, I think it would be unset, right? Yeah. So if I go into submit mode, then it goes there. I guess maybe we need a way to get out of submit mode. I'll figure that out. Um, Obviously that's massive for desktop, but we'll play around with it. Yeah, we're gonna have to have some different breakpoint values that we plumb into these ones to kind of make it right. That's kind of the gist. Let's actually do a little heading. And we'll say create new starter pack to start balancing this thing out a little bit. And actually, this is going to be space between now. So yeah, if I go over here, I choose create new starter pack, and I start adding this up. Obviously, that doesn't look good. Nothing's really looking good, but it's all kind of coming together. And then it just, bam, goes full. And then when it's full, essentially what we want to do is we got this box here. We got this header cancel thing. If it's submit mode, which I'm still on the fence on whether that's how we end up doing this or not. It's actually just well, for now, we do want to have a form that kind of wraps all this stuff. And similar to the way that we were actually, where were we submitting? Yeah, we were submitting that in the modal. So I guess we should probably just do the same here. Which is a little not super stoked on like the fact that like this provider is like capturing those actors and passing it down here, and then this thing is going to submit it and then have to do something back here. But on success, and obviously we have to have our handle submit, but chances are it's actually not going to do that because we're going to use another React hook form. So yeah, we'll figure out our schema. So it's going to be a name. I think description's optional. Actually, I feel like I've even seen some starter packs where the name might have been optional, which is kind of wild, but not sure if that's just a glitch. We're definitely going to want to have the actors as well. I guess those would be required. And I think that might be it. So we have our schema, and then I guess we can do another toast thing too, just to keep it similar. So we can get our toast hook in here. And then We'll set up our React hook form. And then we need some of our imports over here. Oh man, I should take you on. Sorry. Take you to the code view. My bad. My bad. Yep. So get our imports going. And then we have our handle submit, and then we wrap that one. Oops. What is it not like? Oh yeah. It's technically this gets the data. And we don't have to do all this stuff. Other than we will have to do the on success, but we can do that in a bit. All right, so submit mode. My thinking here is that we'll have a flexter column, and this will be like, yeah, there you go, cursor. It's going to be our name and our description. And actually, I think they have a text area. Not sure why it's not auto-completing, but all right, we got that. We have our input. We have our description. We'll probably have to air all this stuff out a little bit, but let's see what we're looking like over here. Oh, I think we blew it up. There we go. So I think my thinking was that these would actually, this whole thing is going to be like more in this zone, kind of vertical box. And then you'll be able to scroll through those. Oh yeah, the one thing I was thinking about doing is also adding like a remove on here. So if you accidentally add someone, you can chuck them out real quick. So we can add that in there too. And then, yeah, but let's actually get over here and we'll play around. So the one thing that we don't have is right now the actors. We have the actor pack card, but we also basically need to have, so we'll do a hidden input for these. And it'll be the actor ID. And then we'll also pass it there. That way we're not coupling this hidden input in the event that we actually want to use these things later, maybe for something else. Not sure if we would, but this keeps our form good. And then we're going to have to add. So for now, I think what we can do is, yeah, we're going to do some little, if it's submit mode, we'll just swap this button with like a proper button. If anyone has any recommendations for other tunes to listen to, or is curious about what's going on, feel free to let me know. Or if you're just jamming on your own thing, let me know what you're jamming on. That's one of the things I was thinking about. Is like maybe turn this into like a co-working kind of thing. Get some other people on. They could talk about what they're doing. Could be kind of cool. A little jam along, and share what you're working on. But yeah, so let's see. So create this new starter pack. Just gonna find like a bunch of designers to throw in here. Oops, sorry. All right, cool. So I have this, and it says designers that have inspired me over the years. Okay, so if you have this, I guess we can validate that we're getting something here. So yeah, we're getting named designers. Oh, that's right. Because the actors are coming in from outside. And so that's right. So we're setting the default values here. I think we need to set this here, but I think these only run on mount like we discovered yesterday. So what is the React? Oh, sorry. Yeah, in the code view action here, we set our default values over here on the React hook form setup, but these only run on mount, and then you basically have your kind of temp state working, but we're getting actors and updates to actors coming in via the prop. So this is only going to fire on mount. I think I just need to look at the docs to update default values, React hook form. I forget. There's just got to be some sort of method for it. Yeah, probably set value. There you go. It's going to be a shame if I'm just have to do like a use effect set value, but that's probably what I have to do. This function allows you to dynamically set the value of a registered field and have the options to validate and update the form state. At the same time, it tries to avoid unnecessary re-renders. Re-render. Okay. That's assuming an on-click. Yeah, I guess it's doing it here. All right, I guess we'll use that value. I don't think I really need to. I mean, the actors that we're getting, it's just the IDs, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, this song is so good. For anyone who's watching the stream but not listening to the Spotify playlist, I'd recommend just clicking that Spotify link. If you need it again, let me know. It should be posted up in the chats. And if you came in through some other means, I don't know, check it out. But this song's so good. It's just, yeah, I don't understand. I don't think I need to do this. I guess now we'll see if we're getting the right values. That's right. Designers, some description. Interesting. There we go. That looks good. I think we're close to being able to save this almost. That'd be nice to actually have this done by midnight. All right, cool. So the way that we handled it in this one is I'm using the client, which is basically kind of like my use starter packs. It's like my authenticated little helper that I have set up here. It's not React Bluesky. Yeah, it's starter packs React. We'll see if actually this ends up becoming a real package that I release, but that's the code name for it now. Okay, so we have our client, and then it's going to be a post, and we're going to Bluesky Starter Pack, and then we're going to pass the data, and then I mean, we could do the test. We could also do that, and then we could also fire the on success, and we could add all those dependencies there. Let's see, is that good? And then obviously we should probably have a catch for the errors. And obviously need to add validation and stuff to the actual form, but again, just getting it working. Cool. And I think this API, Bluesky, I check out the controller. So we have our starter pack add. That's what the one we had working yesterday, which is really straightforward. It basically does a little valid Session validation also then gets the OAuth session, then passes that, and then we basically have the exact same thing going on up here, which is just the starter pack endpoint. So we're not adding a person to an existing pack. We're just creating a brand new pack. The routes in this probably could be a little bit better, but we can always update those later. But basically it has name, description, and members. Okay. I guess maybe we'll just say members. But like, set that to actors and then change this to be members. And change this to be members. Or just change this to be actors. I don't know. Oh, I guess that's where I got the members from, because that's part of the. So basically, the difference between this one that's really straightforward, where I pass in the actor URI, I have the list of starter pack list URIs, and I can just add the actor as the subject to that list. This one's a little different because I essentially need to create the list. Then I need to create, I think this is how it works. I'm not 100% sure. So there might be some trial and error here, but my thinking is based off of what I could like code dive in the AT Proto API package is I create the list with the name and the description, and then I also then create the starter pack with the name, description, and a reference to that list. And then I also then will create my like local instance of this. And I realize now that I also need to do like I need to associate it to my local instance of the actor and a few other things. But I think that's the flow. So we're gonna test it out. But yeah, let's make this members so that way it at least lines up with what's going on in the back end. And then, even though it is a little weird to have the actors members thing, but I've dealt with weirder stuff. I mean, I guess I could just make this members. I don't know. We'll see. So that's looking good. All right. I mean, I guess we can kind of test this out. So we have these people added here. I go into this mode. I say designers, aspiring designers, and I submit. On-success is not a function. Good to know. I have on-success there. I'm probably not passing it in the provider. Yeah. Handle create new success. And I probably should also have a handle create new error maybe, but yeah, we can just treat it the same as the cancel, I guess, for now. All right, cool. So let's add some people again. Oh, I think it worked. We have designers, although we do not have people in the designers. But at least we have something. So we got one thing right. It made the list. Let's see. So let's try this again. I guess I'm gonna have to do some blue sky cleanup after this. And maybe I can actually just make it to where you can delete packs via the art via starter packs too. Um, okay, so why did it not? Oops. What did it not like? Of course, there's a bunch of get starter packs, get starter packs. At some point, I need to make that not polling. So here is our I think right here we're passing the members. I guess we're also passing the actors. It doesn't seem right. Maybe that's where it got messed up. Put these, unless I. Interesting. I was under the assumption that when creating the list, I could just pass in an array of those. But do I actually have to create each individual list item and then? No, because you need the list first. But maybe I will have to do that. So the way that this ended up working for the add to starter packs is I literally had to create the list item and have it associated with that list. My assumption was that if I pass in the DID, an array of those, that I should still get that should just make it. I'm destructuring it, right? Name, description, members, session. Name, description, members, session. I think in the future, I'm just actually going to make this like a options thing, so I don't have to worry about the order of that shit. So why didn't it like it? Yeah, so all right, we'll dig into this more, but at the same time, it is a little weird that I was sending actors and members, but the members still looks like it should be a right thing. And it did. Yeah, I need to associate the actor, so that's why that's coming back null. Descriptions there. It's getting the URI. It is a starter pack. It is a list. Okay, so I don't think we're too far off. I'm also not associating it to a list, so I also need to make the list when I create the list. This is just more like internal stuff. Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing you. So here's like the response from that ad, which essentially my internal like actor ID mapping and list ID mapping stuff is null because I'm not linking up my own internal database instances to this newly created starter pack instance within the starter packs database. But I want to get it actually just working to where this thing's getting the people, and then I'll worry about tying it all back in. So I feel like we're close. I guess we'll just try it again. Maybe I'll just refresh the page just to kind of give it a clean slate. Looking for some designers. Yeah. What? That's tape. You mean shipping tape? Yeah, there's more in the garage. Okay, we'll do. We'll do. All right, so sorry, just had to gonna have to get some shipping tape and print out some return stuff. All good. But all right, so we have some people here. I'll just call this designers too. Typing good. Cool. We have this up so I can see the request go through. It says it created successfully because we have our on success there. It sent members, it sent the name, it sent the description. It set those as here. And if I refresh, I should see that new starter pack, but with no people. So what's wrong? At Proto API GitHub. So yeah, basically the only way I was able to really figure out the setup of this was like digging into the API package and actually just trying to like piece together the types and what's going on there. But so essentially there's the no, it's not the client. It's that's not the agent either, is it? Yeah, here we go. So it's at Bluesky graph. And then we have starter pack here, which you see it takes a name, a description facet, which is like this like rich text kind of structuring thing. And then the list, which I think we have, which is right. And then that's basically what's needed for that. And then so if I go to list, I have the name, the description. I guess I didn't realize I actually could take an avatar. It's kind of cool, but Yeah, maybe I actually do need to just like create the list items, create the starter pack associated to the list, and then yeah, we'll just. All right, so we're going to create the list. We'll create the list item associated to the list. And then, so basically, yeah, that should iterate through members, creating a list item for each. And then we get here, we create the starter pack. And then technically what I should be doing is I should be doing await, oops, this, caps lock's on, Prisma service dot list dot create, and basically creating but the creator ID is actually the session. No, not session. That's the old session. It's the current user. I think there's a way actually I can reference that from the Bluesky service. I think. Or I can just pass it in as a user for now. Let's do that. Sure. Or what is user? User with account. And that's coming from API auth. Okay. What else is missing here? Actually, I should look at the starter pack processor. Wait, list.create's not in there? Oh, it's upsert. Yeah, so that is a reference, and then it's the URI, the name, description, doesn't have purpose. It's just, what's it complaining about? Oh, because I'm not. Numbers not assigned with type of undefined. Number or undefined. Well, we'll just say we have it so as a number. And then, so I'm associating that. I also need to associate this actor ID to the number. And then we have our list ID, which is the list. But technically, we already made the list up here. So this is actually, I'll call this local list. Associate that to this one. And that should button up the data stuff there. And now maybe this will work. So we create the list. We create a list item for each member. Can I just remove this? Or is it going to complain? I mean, I feel like it makes sense for this to be members, but maybe members is something different. Oh, sorry. I'm in code. So basically, I think we got this now. So I'm passing. I'm actually gonna make sure I'm passing the user down here. User. So I'm going to pass the user in along with our name description members session. Name description members session user. We're going to create the list on Bluesky. We're going to create a list item and associate it to that list. And then we're going to create our starter pack on Bluesky. We're then going to create my local reference to the list. And then we're going to create the starter pack with the creator of the starter pack, which is the current user, associated to that list that was created as well. And fill out all this other information regarding it. And that may or may not appease the Bluesky gods and actually create a populated starter pack on the site. So I guess let's try it out again. So back here, yeah, we don't have anything there. I'm going to create a starter pack with some people here. Okay, that's good enough for now. We're going to go here. It's going to be designers 3. And some inspiring designers. And actually, I probably should have held off on dirtying my database stuff with these kind of packs I'm going to delete, but they'll all get cleaned up when the delete calls come through from Bluesky. Should be fine. Okay, so did take a little bit longer. Oh, actor ID is still null there. List ID null too, huh? Maybe my API updates weren't picked up. Doesn't appear like it. Let me reboot. Not reboot the computer, but just sometimes the Nest API needs a little jump start every once in a while when you make some updates to it. There has to be something I'm doing wrong. I don't know if it's because this project's in nx.dev, which is like a monorepo manager kind of setup. And for whatever reason, sometimes when you make updates to the API, they don't quite get picked up until you do that. I mean, definitely when you're adding new controllers and new stuff to the app module, that makes sense because it's spun up and it's not capturing those things. But there might also be something that the way that NX kind of spins up the dev environment to where it's not quite like hot loading. And I don't know if it's because I'm using so many libraries on stuff instead of actually having it be like right in the app. But yeah, it can get a little funky. cool. So we got some designers in here. This is what designers for now, huh? We'll see if this goes. Your starter pack has been created. Moment of truth. Bingo, bango, boongo. All right. Cool. All right, so you can create starter packs now. Rad. And it's 12:07. Perfect. All right. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. It's not the best experience. I'll clean that up in another session, but now we know that we need to create the list items, create the starter pack, do all that good stuff. Rad. Cool. I mean, I might just call it a day and then also go get that. Go find the extra packing tape and print out some return labels and do some of that stuff so everyone is good. But let me actually just see here. I was gonna see if I could find that starter pack call and just see if those relationships were also kind of buttoned up after that API reboot. But this looks too far back. Let's see. I don't know. So many requests for profile or avatars. All right, cool. Man, I'm feeling good. So yeah, I think, and then I guess just to double check it, I can go back here and I should just be able to add people to that designer for list. Let's find some designers. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but so add to pack. They got added. If I go up to designers 4, it's just yeah. All right. And then if I go back here and I want to do some guess we'll do like some like Laravel, PHPX, Atlanta people make a little pack. Let's see, where are the PHP people at? I feel like I should be using Laravel more, but I don't know. I'll get to it. Sometimes it's just fun to stay in JS land. This is where I need to actually add like a search on the. Wait, am I not following him? No, he's just not loaded yet. Yeah, I got some paging stuff to clean up. Or I need to unfollow some people. Too many people. But yeah, so we'll do this and let's do php/laravel peeps and submit that, and bam, refresh. There. All right. And it's a red. So yeah, I could probably do like an edit, because I could also remove people too. This is it's gonna open up to a lot more modal stuff. I'm gonna have to figure out this modal thing, but definitely not the perfect experience, but it's working. I'm gonna clean that up. I'm gonna do that in a different stream. I'm gonna go do some stuff right now. So I don't know. Hopefully it's like a good session. If anyone, yeah, no one really had any questions. There's just a few of you hanging out. I'm gonna call it a night and feel pretty good that the both the adding and the new pack creation is set up. I'm gonna have a think on how best to kind of structure that create new starter pack drawer/modal kind of thing going on, and figure out a cool way to kind of marry those two states, or figure out like a seamless way of like transitioning between those two. But stoked that from like a technical standpoint everything is working. Now it's just more kind of like polishing it a little bit and smoothing some of the rough edges on it. But yeah, and also like little stuff I'm probably gonna have to, going back to this view, for instance, I should probably figure out a way to basically be able to like add some people down here and then remove them, a little X over here. And all that kind of jazz. And obviously not have this. Well, let me just clean up that text right there, because that's just looking real gross. Yeah, essentially I just need to throw like a padding 3 on there. Line item, center. It could be better. Could be better. But it's getting closer. What's going on now? It's that double up padding. So I just need to remove the no padding on the bottom. Let's see. PP0. So I can make it look a little bit better. It's getting there. This button's too big. It's making this thing sit too high. It'll all get tightened up, but even those few little things kind of make it start feeling a little bit better. Cool. And then that hover needs to go. Just do like a little border hover thing. Maybe a little background action. Rad. Yep, I'm going to end it there. Hopefully this has been fun. I'm going to be trying to do some more of these streams here. Just get back into the groove of stuff, and also try to get this like release out for starter packs. I think with these pack editor things going on, the fact that I have the leaderboard pages for the starter packs, and I'm going to update that logic to where essentially anyone who is authenticated and is browsing starter packs, they'll be able to see the starter packs that they're in, as well as the profiles that have those starter packs. And then I'm going to push all that stuff up, obviously once the stuff's like polished up a little bit, and then also expose the pricing page. I think I need to fix the upgrade slash like change your plan thing, but I might just do that after it's out because I don't even know how many people are actually going to subscribe. But I guess if I get an email about someone wanting to complain about upgrading or canceling their plan, we'll figure that out in Stripe or something. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So thanks for joining me. Hopefully you heard some good tunes. Hopefully this was interesting. And I don't know. Look forward to jam with you on the next one. All right. Have a great one.